Hi, welcome to this week's comics. We have a lot of comics to go over this week. New comics came out July 2nd, 2008. The Walking Dead number 50 is incredible. Everyone should be reading this comic. Get all the trades, catch up, be part of the phenomena. It's a ongoing zombie story. It's perfect. The worst thing about zombie stories is that they last like an hour and a half in a movie or whatever, and it's over. We want to see what it would be like to live in one of these worlds forever and ever and ever. Bam, Walking Dead. Read it. Best zombie thing, hands down, ever and forever. I set out to pick up the first 5 issues of Trinity, and now I'm going to stop after these first 5 issues. I gave it a chance, and it failed me. The reason Trinity isn't good is because, let me give you an example. The way Busiek writes Batman's cleverness, he's a super detective. The way he shows that is an alien spaceship crash lands, and Batman goes inside of it and detects that, he just at one glance, instantaneously, Batman automatically knows it has super combustulating doodly spaceship modulators and quantum crapulators and all these. You're throwing out random giant words just by looking at it, and it's like, wow, that was boring. He looked at it and automatically knew everything. He's not Wikipedia, he's a detective. Whereas Grant Morrison, the way he writes Batman's cleverness, as he's shown in his own series Batman and in Final Crisis, the way Grant Morrison writes the clever detectiveness of Batman is Batman will be reacting to things way before you even realize what's going on, and you have to turn back a few pages and wait a minute, what, and it's crazy. There's clues, and Batman picks up on them, and there's clues for the readers to pick up on, and you can figure it out, but it's not easy, and you realize, oh man, he tied A to B and C to D, and very cool. And you come out of, you feel smarter because you pinned it together, and you realize how smart Batman is. Whereas in Busiek's version, it's like he's Wikipedia, basically. He can just think of anything automatically he's like a computer. That's not interesting. All the characters in Trinity are very two-dimensional, stereotypical versions of the characters, and it makes them very, very, very boring. And the reason Trinity doesn't work as a ongoing series is where, by way of example, 52 packed in a ton of stuff happening in each issue. If each issue felt like light years had gone by as far as continuity and all the stuff going on, where here in Trinity, it's as if Busiek feels, since he has the whole year to flesh out these stories, he's dragging out stories that could be done in half an issue. Like what's been going on in the first 5 issues feels like a half issue's worth of stuff that's happened. Batman R.I.P. number 678 by Grant Morrison. This stuff is like crack. It's very addictive reading this current run of Batman comics. It reads like a crime or mystery novel where you're having to figure things out as you go along, and each issue leaves you wanting so much more. It's amazing. When it all comes together, it's beyond crazy cool. And it also ties into lots of things in the past of DC's universe, really utilizing DC's universe very well. Thank you, Grant Morrison. Astonishing X-Men number 25. It's Warren Ellis's first X-Men Astonishing. It starts off really good. Now they're living in San Francisco. All the character interactions are really tight. I'm definitely excited to see where Warren Ellis is taking us. Stephen King's The Dark Tower Almanac came out this week, as well as the 5th and final issue of The Long Road Home, The Dark Tower. As far as the Almanac goes, I think it's pretty cool, but actually for both comics, I wouldn't recommend reading these if you're planning on reading the Dark Tower novel series and you haven't yet. I think these comics work as neat versions or interpretations of Stephen King's work, but it's definitely not the way I imagined it, and personally the way I imagined it when I read the novels is a lot more interesting to me than these, and I feel like if I see something that's an interpretation of a book first before reading the book, that I can't help but imagine the characters in that way and have a hard time developing them how I see them in my mind. So I would stay away from the Dark Tower comics if you're planning on reading the books and haven't. Otherwise, if you have read the books or you're not going to read the books, these comics are amazing. The Boys number 20 came out. If you like listening to old dudes ramble on about conspiracy theories, then you'll really get a kick out of this comic. It's enjoyable. It's got a lot of commentary on 9/11 and all the 9/11 conspiracy theories going around, and lots of other conspiracy theories. And it has doesn't take place in reality, but it's a strange mirrored version of our reality, and it's really obvious to connect the dots to who they're actually talking about in our reality. Another Robert Kirkman comic came out this week, The Astounding Wolfman number 7. I'm totally falling in love with this series. There just keeps being more and more crazy twists and turns, and number 7 will leave you crapping your pants. The Astounding Wolfman is by far one of my favorite comic books now. Kirkman is really a wonderful writer. The art is really wonderful as well. Joker's Asylum featuring the Joker, number 1. It looks like this is going to be a different writer and artist for each installment, and this first week's is neat. It's very reminiscent of the animated series as far as just sort of the whole flow of how they used the Joker. Definitely not what you're going to expect, and very enjoyable by the end. Highly recommend it. Next week is the Penguin in Joker's Asylum, and different writer, different artist. Hopefully, if half as good as this, then it's going to be worth picking up. The Vinyl Underground came out this week. This comic is like The Invisibles' quasi-sober cousin-in-law. It's a nice change of pace from all the current superhero stuff out there right now. The all-new Atom number 25 came out this week. It's the last issue. I'm really sad that I only got to get to 25 issues, but the run was really tight. It was really consistently good. I loved it. Jonah Hex number 33. This issue can work as a one-shot. It is incredible. I haven't been reading Jonah Hex up until this point, but now I'm definitely going to go back and buy all the trades and singles up to this issue and continue reading it. I'm hooked. Jonah Hex is my pick of the week. He's just about one of the most badass gunslingers I've ever seen in a comic, ever. Infinity Inc. number 11. This isn't a bad comic. It's actually pretty entertaining, but compared to a lot of other comics that came out this week, it just wasn't all that exciting. It didn't capture my attention too much, but it's not bad. If you guys like it, I can see why, but I don't know. It didn't do too much for me, but it's not bad. Billy Batson and the Magic of Shazam number 1 came out this week. It is fantastic. This is my second pick of the week. It is one of my favorite comics I've read in a long time. In the first couple pages, it sums up Shazam's history in an amazing way that really clarifies it and taught me a few new things that I didn't know. Mike Kunkel is my new hero, and I hope he gets to make hundreds and hundreds of these issues because they are just really adorable and they suck you in and they're really fun. All of IDW Star Trek comics are incredible. I would buy all of them. They're so much fun. I'm really sad because I've seen all my favorite Star Trek episodes way too many times, and none of the new shows do it for me whatsoever. I just ignore them. And these comics really fill the void of my Star Trek need. Thanks for watching this week's comics.